And joining us now on In the Cage with Bards, the champ is here. The champ is here. The undefeated, undisputed Bellator lightweight champion taking on Rick Hawn at Bellator's debut event on Spike TV January 17th. The one, the only Michael Chandler on the program. How you doing today, champ?
Oh, I am doing great. Thank you guys for the opportunity of having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend, and it's been a while, and we haven't actually seen you in the cage since you had that victory over Akihiro Gono, so you must be chomping at the bit to get back in there.
I am, yeah, I'm definitely chomping at the bit. Definitely, been doing a lot of training. I feel like I've improved a ton, so I'm excited, not only to go out there and put on a show for the fans, but also to go out there and show myself and prove to myself that I'm, getting better and making gains in this sport. And, it's exciting to be able to go out and fight for Bellator on Spike against a great opponent in Rick Hawn. So it's all coming together, and it's going to be a great situation next week.
Yeah, how does it feel heading into this and being the main event of what to this point is the biggest card in Bellator history?
It feels great, in the fact that it's, it is a big card. It's got a lot of things on it, 2 title fights with, and then also Babalu, who's a big name in our sport, and it's live on Spike TV in front of potentially a couple million people. So it's exciting, and it's exciting to headline the card. It's exciting to be the main event, and I'm just excited to go out there and perform and get another win and continue this journey that I'm on. So it's all going according to plan. I'm healthy and happy and ready to fight.
Absolutely. And there's been a lot of talk about what the move to Spike TV means for Bellator as a promotion. What does it mean for you personally?
For me personally, it's just continue to go out there and exceed people's expectations, and continue to go out there and put on dominant performances, and continue to win over fans and gain momentum in the sport, and continue my run to trying to become the best lightweight in the world, and just going out there and showing improvements, showing that I've gotten better over the last 6 months or however long it's been since I fought last. So it's just exciting, improvements. I want to show improvements. I want to show the fans that I'm gonna deliver a fast-paced, exciting fight every single time I step in the cage. So that's the goal next week.
Yeah, and like you said, potentially a few million people watching this one. Do you feel like you could be the next basic cable superstar?
That would be great. That would do some great things for my career, obviously. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to just go out there and perform.
Beautiful. Well, one thing that's come out of the Spike deal so far is some cross-promotion with the Impact Wrestling show. King Mo has been on there. How do you feel about that? Are you a wrestling fan, or is this something that you think if there's too much of it could muddy the waters a little bit?
I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but any and all cross-promotion and any and all, obviously dipping in both sides and being able to be part of Impact and being part of Bellator is definitely cool. The sports do kind of go, hand in hand as far as viewership and as far as the demographics. A lot of the same people who watch wrestling are also MMA fans. So if I was given the opportunity to go and do some cross promotion and do go to the shows and not necessarily wrestle or anything like that necessarily, but I would definitely take it. Any kind of cross promotion is awesome, and what the move to Spike has done and what Spike is doing and those guys as far as cross promotion, not just wrestling, but with all kinds of things and award shows and that kind of stuff has just been awesome so far. So I'm excited to see where it all goes and what kind of awesome opportunities arise in the next year or two, however long it takes to continue to grow and grow and grow until Bellator is a household name.
Yeah, a lot more promotion going in, especially with the Viacom takeover and things of that nature. But one thing I have noticed that's kind of puzzled me is that I don't know if it's Bellator or if it's Spike or who's making that call there. But it seems like they've focused a little bit more on kind of the negative stereotypes of the sport. I'm speaking specifically of the promo with War Machine, in jail, and the fueled by hate things and things of that nature. And that puzzles me, especially when you've got guys on the roster like yourself yourself and like Rad Martinez, guys who, have a really positive, really uplifting story and are upstanding citizens to boot. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that promo, but I mean, it does sound kind of, I don't know, bizarre to me. I don't think, no offense to War Machine, no offense to whoever, but I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, I think there's enough good guys in this sport that they should be the guys taking over. I think the guys who are fueled by hate or they have that different kind of lifestyle that gets in trouble all the time. I mean, those kinds of guys are going to get weeded out, and they're gonna find themselves at the bottom of the pile compared to the guys who do things right. When you talk about the guys who are successful in this sport, I guarantee that the level of commitment that they put into this sport, how hard they train, the things that they put in their bodies, the thing is that they don't put in their bodies, how much sleep they get, the lifestyle decisions that they truly make and how much they dedicate themselves to this sport, those are the kind of guys who are going to rise at the top, and those are the kind of guys who are going to be fighting for world titles. I think they're, for a sport that started with a bunch of barroom brawlers, 10 years ago or however long it was, I think we've cleaned up the sport a ton, and there's a ton of guys who are just athletes now, and they take this sport seriously, and they live this sport, and it's a lifestyle, and it's not just a hobby anymore. You can't be a part-time fighter and train part-time and go out there and win fights. You just can't do it anymore. You're fighting against seasoned, trained athletes who put in hours and hours a day and 6 days a week. So that's the kind of fighter that I'm trying to be, and I want to be a man of integrity, and I want to be a better man than I am fighter. And that's kind of my goal.
Well said, my friend. And we kind of touched on it off the top, but you haven't competed since the Akihiro Gono fight in May. Are you hoping that one of the byproducts of this Spike deal is that you get a little more cage time in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look. I got a fight in January 17th, and then there's already going to be Marcin Held and Dave Jansen fighting very soon to crown the next tournament champion. So there should already be another guy waiting in the wings. So I will be, I've been kind of vocal about it, not hostile, but I will be very disappointed, if I don't get 3 fights this next year. I think it's setting up, it's setting itself up to be that way. So I should get at least 3 fights next year, and this year. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting it's January already. So this year I should get 3 fights this year, and I'm just excited to be busier, to keep training, to keep getting better, and keep going out there and putting on a show for the fans.
Absolutely. And the training obviously going great from what you say. How has the move out to Alliance MMA, how has that benefited your training?
It's been great. It was a move that I felt like I needed to make, and I did, and I haven't looked back since. I haven't once questioned it. It's been great, man. There's a ton of guys down here, and numerous great coaches, and it's a real good team atmosphere. And I wake up, train, come home, eat, and hang out for a little while, and train again. When everybody's on the same schedule, everybody's on the same page, and it's a great situation to be in as far as training. And then to top it all off, it's San Diego, California. It's nice, and it's sunny, and all the things that go along with Southern California. So it's definitely been great, and I feel like I've made a ton of improvements. And I'm excited to go out there and show it on January 17th.
Yeah, I'm guessing San Diego in January is a tad nicer than your home in Missouri or up here in Canada.
Yeah. It is definitely nice. I mean, I miss Missouri a lot. I love Missouri. I'm excited to go back and visit and visit the family and all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely a nice situation to train out here. It's sunny and at least 60 year round.
Yeah, that does sound nice right about now. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, let's talk about the Rick Hawn fight. You're known for your wrestling skills. You've got that wrestling pedigree. How do you think your grappling matches up with the judo skill set of Rick Hawn?
I'm pretty confident that my wrestling is going to be able to counteract his judo in any situation. I've been training to obviously be prepared for the judo. Been training my normal wrestling and stuff. So I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared for a very explosive Rick Hawn with great hips and good takedown defense. you know, when you go back and you watch his fights, most of his fights are on the feet, and he doesn't get a ton of takedowns or a ton of trips or whatever. He'll try and put you up against the cage and kind of beat you up there. But you know, I think I'm going to be just as big, just as strong, and you know, probably faster than him. So I think it should work out well. It's really setting itself up to be a great fight, and I'm excited for, you know, all the fans to see it on, you know, next week.
Absolutely. And even though he is known for that judo skill set, he does have some power in his hands. He's got some good KOs on his record. Obviously, you're coming off blasting a legend like Akihiro Gono in less than a minute, so you're pretty confident in your stand-up game as well. So are you comfortable in this fight no matter where it plays out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I think in a very, you know, in a very, as humble as I could possibly say it, and as respectful as I could possibly say it, I think I'm, you know, just better at Rick Hawn in all areas of the sport. I just think, you know, I've been training my butt off the last, you know, couple of years, and my hands have come a long way. My grappling has been there from my wrestling background, you know, submissions, and you know, I've finished 8 of my 10 fights so far, and you know, the one thing that you can't take away from Rick Hawn is he is just a very, very tough guy. He's got a heart, you know, like no other, and he's going to keep coming. And you know, he's a judo Olympian, so he knows how to train. He's one of those guys that I talked about earlier, who is, you know, he'll do well in this sport because I do think he's a good guy. I think he's a good competitor. I think he takes the sport seriously, and I think he wakes up every morning and trains his butt off. So when you get an opportunity to fight a guy like that, there's a ton of respect, and you know, between both fighters, and you know, I'm just excited to go out there and test myself and, you know, put on a good show.
All right, well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. How does the fight with Rick Hawn end?
How does it end? I think I hope it ends in a submission later in the rounds, 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
There you go. Submission in the championship rounds. That would be a great debut for Spike. That would be a fight, you know, like many of your fights that really get talked about and brought up in those fight of the year conversations. So, are you looking to put a stamp out like that? Is it important to you to put on a show as much as it is to get a victory over Rick Hawn?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be mad if I go out there and knock him out in 2 seconds, and it's you know, it's not much of a show. You know, I'm not gonna be upset about that. I definitely wasn't upset after the Gono fight. But the goal is always, you know, to put on a good show. But I think my style just you know, good shows just happen because of my style. When you're always coming forward, always putting pressure on people, and you know, I'm obviously not afraid to get hit. I've proven that. You know, I walk forward and eat shots. So, you know, I have that style where it's always going to be a good show if the fight just continues to go on. You know, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. It's going to be a good show because there's going to be all kinds of action. You know, I try not to slow down at all because, you know, that's how I train. I train to be able to fight 25 minutes harder than anybody else. So that's the goal. Go out there, keep a high pace, keep a fast pace, and you know, put my hands on them.
Absolutely. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Blessed Threads, available at blessedthreads.com. Great shirts for a great cause. A donation is made for every shirt that's bought, going to Friends of Kids with Cancer. I had to ask, how are things going with that? Because it is a quality product, and I absolutely love the cause.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's going well. You know, we're starting off very small, building it brick by brick, and it's just one of those things where it was just, you know, January of 2012 that we launched it. So it's been about a year, and you know, we've raised a nice amount of money for Friends of Kids with Cancer, and it's been great so far. And I'm just excited to continue working with them, continue to grow the brand, and you know, hopefully everybody, you know, checks it out now and after my fight when they see it on my banner and that kind of stuff. So it's exciting, and you know, the move to Spike is definitely going to help Bellator as well, or help Blessed Threads as well. So I'm just excited to continue to grow it, and you know, we'll see. The sky's the limit.
Absolutely, and like I said, great shirts for a great cause, a cause that's very close to your heart, I know. But let's talk about something that's closer to your stomach. I know from past experience that you're a big Chipotle's fan. Is it hard going into this fight, having to watch your weight and not being able to chow down on that stuff?
Yeah, it is. Chipotle is one of my main, loves. But it's yeah. I mean, I actually for the first time got on a nutrition plan. My strength and conditioning coach here has also become my nutritionist. His name is Doug Balzerini, and he, we work out 2 to 3 times a week throughout camp, and pretty much the whole time I've been here in San Diego. And he's actually prepared all my meals for me. I just got done eating some chicken, green beans, red peppers, green peppers, and zucchini. So it's a lot of whole. It's all organic. It's all grass-fed beef. When I have beef, it's all free-range chicken. When I have chicken, it's all organic foods, and it's been really well. It's working out really well. My weight has come down very well. I'm as lean as I've ever been, and I'm excited for that to translate into a great performance next week.
Absolutely. So Chipotle's the post-fight meal then? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. I love my favorite post-fight meal is chicken and rice, and the best chicken and rice in the whole world is Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Excellent. And have you thought about lining up a sponsorship with Chipotle's? Because you keep beating that drum, and it is great food. I like it too.
Yeah, no, I would love to. That's one of my main goals as a fighter. Is I told my manager, kind of jokingly, but I basically said my life would not be complete unless I line up a sponsorship deal with Chipotle. So it was kind of a joke, but no, I would love that sponsorship. Obviously, that would be one of the coolest things, and I just love their style. I love the when you walk into their restaurants, they got all kinds of cool artwork, and the food is just phenomenal. So definitely my favorite food by far.
Mine too. All right, Michael, I know you're a busy guy, so we'll let you get going here. Last question for you. It's something that we ask everyone that comes on the program. If you had the opportunity, you get to punch one person from any walk of life right in the face, who would it be?
Rick Hawn.
Rick Hawn. Well, you'll get that opportunity January 17th, and we can't wait to see that. Mike, just tell the people where they can find you in the Twitterverse, and any other thank yous or shout outs or anything else you want to plug. This is your time, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, big thank you to you guys for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity. Big thanks to Monster Energy, Toyota Escondido, and Cabot Guns. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for all your support. I love you guys. And follow me on Twitter at Mike Chandler MMA, and link up with me on Facebook on my Facebook fan page, Michael Chandler MMA fan page. I like to talk to fans as much as possible. I use Twitter a lot, so if you have any questions or comments, concerns, or want to talk, let me on Twitter at Mike Chandler MMA. Thank you.
There you have it, the Bellator lightweight champion of the world, Michael Chandler, here on In the Cage with Bards on NextSportsStar.com, and we'll be back with more MMA action right after this.
Make me whole, you're the one.